Hey everybody, Whitebeard Dan here. Today we're going to talk about some steps that you could take to take your teaching to the next level. These are some of the things that most teachers that go from good to great have put into practice. One of the first things to take your teaching to the next level is planning. Plan. Everybody's got a plan. One of the things that you're going to do as a teacher is plan lessons. It's just one of those things that you just want to build your toolbox up. As a new teacher, yeah, you're going to spend a lot of time. You're going to go through your content, going through your pacing calendar, scope, sequence, all of that stuff. Look at your big essential questions. But really, this is your bread and butter. And the more you spend doing this, the easier, not that your job ever gets really easy, because this is one of the toughest professions there is. I don't care what anyone says, hands down. Teaching is a practice, and this is why we need to be committed to it. So yeah, plan a lot, collaborate, work with your colleagues. It's really important that you spend time with master teachers who have done this, teachers who have brought those lessons. If you're a history teacher teaching the American Revolution, ask the other teachers, how did you do this? What got the students engaged? Constantly learn from people who have done it before. You want as many opportunities to plan with your colleagues as possible. This will give you the opportunity to really see what worked for them in the classroom, some of the things that might not have worked for them in the classroom. They'll give you the heads up. Remember, it's all about differentiating to a bunch of different learning styles inside of your classroom. So be aware that somebody might have a really good idea of how to reach a certain student that you might be struggling with, and vice versa. So it's always about collaboration. It's always about sharing that information. Some teachers, they like to write their lessons and keep them close to their vest. I don't know. I've never found a lesson that was so great that you couldn't share it with the world. So always put yourself in a position that you're learning from others, and you're constantly learning how to deliver your curriculum, your content. There's many professional PDs. It's another big piece of it. Professional development is key to what we do. Learning from each other, learning learning different techniques, learning the latest technologies that are coming out there. There's so many opportunities for you to develop as a teacher. That is one of the things, as an administrator, I really wish that I could do more often with my staff. And I know it's hard because I don't want to, use my staff's time. Your time is precious. So administrators are, they should be aware of that. And we realize that even when we're with you, it's a very limited time. So we want to get as much accomplished in our professional development. We want some consistency. You want to make sure that as an administrator, when I deliver a professional development, I want to make sure that it's consistent and there's follow through throughout the year, which is difficult because the years changes, things happen. Things come up, other things become a priority throughout the year. So, those kind of things that, really being committed to your professional development, your professional growth are key. Another thing is you definitely want to always continue to improve on your own expertise. So if you're a science teacher, you should be committed to learning the latest things that are going on in science, especially in your content area. If there's some stuff, especially climate change, or if you're a chemist and there's some things that are happening in your industry, you want to be on top of that, because the thing is we're training our kids for jobs that might not even exist. And to be aware of what's happening, what the trends, what's coming on. This is a big issue, especially with computers and computer programming and engineering, being on top of what's needed. So really be committed to knowing what content you're teaching and being an expert in that content and how your students will be able to move forward in that career. I always tell my teachers, remember, you're the spokesman for your content. You're the person that gets your kids engaged and excited about science or math or English or whatever it is you teach. You're instilling that passion for your content area. So be aware of what's going on in your content there. It's really important. And not just that, you're also, remember, you're also a teacher. So there is a tremendous amount of research that's done around our profession all the time. There's a lot of people looking at what's going on in the classroom, how the best way to serve our students, the best way to work with this type of population. understand and be really aware that there is a lot of information out there. There's a lot of resources out there. You know, I'm a big fan of ASCD. So there's just a lot of stuff that you should be current on as an educator. That's the part of the practice. It's just it's just the same like with a lawyer or a doctor. They're on top of what's going on in their practice. You as teachers need to know what's going on in education. You should be aware of what's happening with current events, what the laws are, especially in your state, if things are changing with the curriculum, Common Core, all those things you should be on top of and understand what's happening so that you can speak to it, especially if a parent or an administrator comes to you and say, hey, what's going on with this, or have you heard about this? You should understand that there's a tremendous amount of stuff going on out there. The research is continually changing. So be committed to looking at that research, reading about it, sharing it. If you do find something, pass it on. If somebody does pass something on, hey, take a few minutes, take a read on. But just be the expert in your field. So to recap, some of the things you want to do: plan, definitely plan. Collaborate for sure. Definitely work as go to as many professional developments as you possibly can. Be the expert in your content area, and as well, always be committed to your practice, knowing what's going on in it. I hope these things help. They've helped me as a teacher. They will help you go from good to great. Think of it this way, and I understand like most of it is, it's very hard sometimes as a teacher, but I will tell you this, and I invite you to do this. If you spend an hour a week committed to these 5 things, outside of your normal routine, this will make you a better teacher. It will actually make your job easier in the long run. I believe it. I've seen it happen. I hope it happens for you. Listen, feel free. Leave comments below. Subscribe, like, smash the notification bell. Peace out, everybody.